Hi, I'm Laura Kennedy Gould, and this is my story. On June 16th, 2012, I woke up, and as if by magic, my right hand was tremoring. I did my usual medical therapy for it, which is I ignored it, but eventually I went to the doctor, and she told me I presented with Parkinsonisms, and she referred me to a neurologist. Boy, did I cling to that isms part of Parkinsonisms. I thought, that means it's not real Parkinson's, right? It's just something like Parkinson's. But nope, the neurologist confirmed that I had Parkinson's, which is a regressive movement disorder. So how in the world does a diagnosis of Parkinson's disease fit in with the theme of second chances? Well, I went through a lot of changes with Parkinson's, and actually most of them have been positive. Positive change number one. Number one, I retired. I realized that managing a 40-hour plus work week and a pretty brutal commute, it was becoming increasingly difficult with the fatigue and muscle pain that I realized were caused by the Parkinson's disease, or at least connected with them. So my husband and I went to our financial advisors and we decided, yes, we could swing this. Positive change number two, we moved to Burien. We were living in West Seattle in a 2-story house with a spiral staircase. Not a really good thing for someone whose movement might become impaired. And my husband had just bought a truck camper and was looking for a flat place to park it, which, if you know West Seattle, it's hard to find a flat place to park your car. So we looked around, and we were not targeting Burien, which I had only known as the place you found when you got lost on the way to the airport. But we found property that had 1 story, no stairs, and a parking spot, and voila, we were in Burien. Burien has been full of positive changes. My husband's happiest day in his life, well, his second happiest day after marrying me, was when he left behind the lawnmower and the fertilizer spreader in West Seattle. No lawn in Burien. We love our location, which is, we're about 5 minutes from the light rail station. We're an easy walk to downtown. We have become involved in Burien civic activities. And most importantly of all, we've made a lot of new friends here. So, does this start to sound a little too positive? A little too unrealistic, like Pollyanna? Well, it so happens I wrote a blog post that said Pollyanna got a bad rap. Yes, another positive change. Shortly after I got the diagnosis, I decided to start a blog post, and it's called The Magic Trick, Life with Parkinson's. And if you Google Magic Trick Parkinson's, you will get one of two things, either my blog or the website of a professional magician happened to be named Parkinson's. Who knew? The blog has been helpful to me for organizing the little bits of knowledge I was gaining about Parkinson's. It's also been a way to keep my brain active, because I find with the Parkinson's, everything has to be more deliberate. How I sit, how I stand, how I swallow, how I speak, how I keep myself positive. I have to work harder on finding those positive changes, because the very brain chemical that makes you optimistic and positive, that is dopamine, that's what's in short supply with us Parkies. So that leads me to My last positive change for the evening, for this speech, which is people have asked me what was my reaction when I first got this diagnosis. Well, I almost burst into tears. It wasn't because of the diagnosis. It was because the doctor said, the only thing you can do for Parkinson's is exercise at least an hour a day. I hate exercise. I hated exercise then. I hate exercise now. So to call this a positive change is probably a stretch, but I have to say it must be doing some good. I do get in about an hour a day most days. It must be doing some good because 8 years later I'm in reasonably good shape. I am able to do some fun stuff that falls under the exercise category, like swing dance and hiking and even a little cross-country skiing. But it's still a stretch to say that I like exercise, but I guess I have to think of it positively as my job. And when you're having to look at things more deliberately, you have to be open to where that inspiration for positive thoughts and changes may come. So one of my inspirations that I wrote about in my blog post, I called her Esperanza, hope. It's not her real name. Esperanza has very severe Down syndrome. I don't think she can even verbalize, but she spends hours at the gym. She's really an inspiration for me. So when I think negative thoughts about exercise, I have to remember Esperanza, she can do a mean Zumba. Thank you.